everyone. Okay, so this is Ziki here, and I'm hoping you're all doing very well wherever you are. And also, for those of you who are in the flood prone areas in South Africa, I am hoping that you are getting the help that you need. And we also saw, the memorial of Elvis Nyati, and these are some of the stories that we have. But now I am taking you to Malawi. Now, with what is happening in South Africa, where South Africans are saying, foreigners, you need to go back to your own countries, go and make things right in your own countries, find employment in your own countries. Now, in Malawi, people have taken to the streets to demonstrate against the high cost of living. They're saying things have gone way out of hand. Ever since, when President Chakwera was put into power, he promised the jobs, he promised to change people's lives and everything. But people are saying we cannot even see that change. Prices are going up every day. Okay, we are tired. This is not the first time the people of Malawi have gone into the streets. Months back, they also went into the streets, protesting, against that thing. And we also saw at one time President Chakwera, dissolving the whole cabinet because of corruption and many other things. So a lot of things are happening in Malawi. But then the soldiers in Malawi, according to news outlets, they say that no one should interfere with the protesters. Not even the police should get involved. Let the people protest. And now in some photos being circulated on social media, you can actually see the soldiers ahead, okay, leading, and the people following them. But I'm just going to read you what's in the news. It says that Malawian soldiers have directed that no one should interfere with the protests that are currently going on in the country. The soldiers have warned the police that whoever will be found brutalizing citizens for registering their displeasure will be dealt with sternly. Currently, Malawian citizens led by activist Oliver Nakuma have taken to the streets in Blantyre over the rising cost of living and what they call false campaign promises of the alliance, which calls for the which is called the New Dawn government. Attempts to stop the protest by the high police presence in anti-riot gear and in civilian outfits failed as soldiers accompanied the protesters to Blantyre District Council, where they are expected to deliver a petition. The army has warned that it will not entertain anyone to brutalize the people who are only exercising their rights. The protests are also reminding President Chakwera on the campaign promises he would resign in 2 years if he fails to turn around the country's economy and social status of Malawians. Now listen up. During the campaign in run up to to Malawian presidential elections, President Chakwera said, well, I am going to do A, B, C, D jobs and everything, and he even said, when I fail, if I fail to deliver these promises in 2 years' time, I can go. So people are saying, hey, remember your promise. You said you were going to leave in 2 years' time if you don't deliver, but you haven't delivered. We haven't seen any jobs. So what is the way forward? So people are saying everything that was put in the campaigning and what is happening now is not the same. Now this also is what is happening in Zambia. Okay, Zambians as well, they're saying, well, it's been 8 months, we are going to 9. We've been promised the jobs, we've been promised the better livelihood and everything, but we're seeing that prices are going up, things are like this and that and that. Are we ever going to achieve the goal that the president said they're going to achieve? So these are some of the disturbances that are happening, in SADC. Now, here's the thing. When things like this happen, people are complaining of high cost of living and everything not working out well in their country. What is the next move? Some people will then decide, where can I go and make a living for my children? Sometimes some people may not even wait to protest and to have the president to act and everything. Some people will start to look for livelihood, and this is what you find people flocking to countries like South Africa. And this is again where we'll begin to see issues of immigration rising in South Africa, because people will look, which one is the best country that I can run to? Of course, South African economy is better than anywhere in Africa. So people will just look at South Africa, and also it being the closest, to anywhere you can run to. So people will just decide, let me just go to South Africa and try my luck and try to do ABCD. So again, this is where we are going to see more problems coming back into South Africa. So until the region of SADC is, issues are in the region, are dealt with, countries in the region deal with their issues of corruption and governance issues and everything, we are still going to be seeing problems in South Africa, because everybody will be running to South Africa where they think they might. So the only solution here is for SADC countries to make sure that their economies are working. They kill corruption and all the other ills in governance and everything. That is the only way South Africa can have peace. Other than that, no matter how much they beat people, no matter how much they try to intimidate people, more people will still be flocking into South Africa because that is the nearest country that is better for them. Not everyone can afford to fly to UK. Not everyone can afford to go anywhere. So the only place they can go where they can just enter into a bus and go is South Africa. So these are some of the problems that continue to harbor around our region, and therefore South Africa is the one that is at the receiving end. Okay, and again, people in Malawi are just saying, well, even the little jobs that are there, President Chakwera is practicing tribalism. He is giving jobs to his relatives, to the people who come from the same region as him in different institutions and everything. So all those things being put together, it still bring us to South Africa. It still takes us back to South Africa, because as long as we still have these problems, it all leads to South Africa. So these are some of the stories that are happening inside again. Of course, I'm going to come back again with more stories for you, my friends, because I also have some issues coming from Swaziland where, there have been some problems in the hospitals, after the government failed to renew nurses' permits, and therefore some hospitals were left with no one to work there. And a lot of people, other nurses who are still in the job, they're saying, well, the job is just too much for us. We cannot do it on our own. So they decided to down tools. So those are issues happening in our region. But all I can tell you, my friends, is that things need to be dealt with, okay? Things need to be dealt with in the region. Recently, there was a SADC meeting. So people expected to see some of these issues being tabled. But looking at what happened at that SADC Troika meeting that was held, they never spoke anything to do with South African immigration. And people were like, we thought you were going to bring it out, but it's not there. Then later on, we saw the United Nations representation in South Africa coming out saying, well, they condemn the killing of Elvis Nyati, this and that. But is this the solution that is needed right now? I don't think so. My name is Ziki, and hey, like I said before, there's going to be another panel, another discussion that we're going to bring to you this weekend. It's an Easter weekend, so we're going to be having a lot of time to be here together. Until then, subscribe so that you don't miss on this and more.